Welcome to the inaugural Off Target podcast. I'm joined by D White Shoot.
Yo.
Do I want to say hi to the
yo,
listeners?
Yo.
You want to tell them a little about yourselves? For all the listeners at home. For all the listeners at home who might not know who you are.
I didn't prepare for that.
You didn't hear that? It's like the first day at school. My
name is Dwight Shoot.
What's your name?
Apex Legends. I'm very bad at it. We're working on it though. That's about it. I like to get weird.
We always like to get weird. I'm Nature's Bless. I also stream Apex on Twitch. Albeit a little bit poorly, just like Dwight, but we get out here. This is our first podcast. The goal of this podcast is really just, primarily we're going to be talking about Apex. That's what we know and love, and we eat and breathe Apex. But we might talk about other FPS games. But the main goal here is because we see a lot of high-ranked players talk stuff on Twitter, right, Dwight? Like all these pros and shit, they're on Twitter. We want to give medium, I would say slightly above casual player. Right? Slightly above average player, streamers like yourself who, we play this game 6-7 hours a day, but we're not pros by any means. At least not yet. So, this timing is good because Season 10 just dropped. Season 10 of Apex just dropped. So, Dwight, initial thoughts on Season 10 based off this first week?
It's different. I'll say that. I think just like any other season, it's got pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah.
Meta changes are nice, but not always going to be the meta changes that we probably want, I would say. A lot of visual clutter is really my big issue right now. If I had to give a primary complaint, I would say it's probably the visual clutter all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And the main cause of this visual clutter would be from the new Legend Seer. Right. So I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm enjoying Season 10 overall. I feel like as a season launch, it went pretty well. The servers didn't explode. The overall vibes of Season 10 are pretty good.
Yeah, the how smooth the rollout was. I mean, it's a shame that we have to compliment them on that, but the fact that it went so smooth is definitely a nice shame. Because usually the first day of the season is awful.
Yeah.
And that actually went extremely well compared to normal, I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah, so visual clutter, man. Seer. I mean, you either love Seer. I feel like right now you either love Seer or you are just not a big fan of Seer. For whatever reason. It could be anything.
Yeah, and I think I've seen quite a few people, I would say, that he's one of those legends that people kind of like how Horizon was when she came out. People like playing him, they don't like playing against him. Which is exactly how Horizon was when she came out. He's cool to play, but then when you go up against every team having a Seer and you're getting flashbanged left and right, your bat has gotten canceled 6 times while you're trying to just keep getting almost done with it and somebody else hits you with it. So
yeah, I agree. Seer, it's kind of like Caustic, right? When Caustic was the dominant meta, you hated playing against Caustics, but you loved playing as Caustic because you kind of just dominated the space.
Right.
Seer is one of those it's a couple of issues, right? One, new legend. Everybody just wants to play it with a new toy. Everybody wants to play the new legend. 100%. That's how it's just gonna be. Two, yeah, it's the release of Seer. The Seer's kit isn't broken overall, I would say. If you look at each part, all together though, it's kind of jacked.
Yeah, and I think looking at the level of play that he's being where he's being used really determines how broken he feels. Like in pubs, I would say, to me at least, he's annoying, right? Like
Right.
I get flashbang and I'm like, stupid. My bag gets canceled. It's annoying. But like watching people like play like higher ranked games with him, where like people are like more not running around like a pub, like like holding down buildings and stuff like that. It's nuts. Like seeing one team, I think it was Snipe Down. I saw a clip where there was a team in like a truck, like one of the like trailers, and they were getting seer queued like 5 times. Like everybody was just going around in circles. So like in pubs, like I said, I feel like it's just annoying. But I feel like in like ranked and stuff like that, if people keep playing him, it's going to be a problem. How he is right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the like if you look like you said, it just depends on what level you're playing against them. Pubs, again, annoying. The flashbang sucks. The stun sucks. Everything kind of sucks. But people aren't like executing them very well. In higher ranks, it gets kind of rough because you just can't get away from it. People are very smart. I mean, you've given people free wall hacks, basically. I think that Seer needs a nerf to like tweaks to certain parts of his kit.
Yeah.
Like let's start with his passive. Like, I think the passive, instead of being a constant scan all around, my buddy said either shorten the range, right? Or maybe we do a pulse, right? Where it's not a constant scan, but it's like every second it's like a sonar, right? Like you can kind of look around.
Oh, yeah.
You get like a snapshot, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Like I feel like that would be fair.
Wouldn't be bad.
Well,
I feel like with Seer 2, a lot of his kit was described very differently before he came out than what it ended up being. Like, when they talked about his passive before he came out, it made it sound, at least to me, like it was only going to be an audio cue. Like, you would hear a heartbeat, and then you would have to... Obviously not the case. I mean, he's got this whole thing, that shows you where they're at. Like, even if it was just that, like, if you just had to go based off of the sound, like, in your headphones of where the heartbeat was coming from, instead of giving you an act, like, literally a wall hack that just tells you exactly where they're at. But, like, even that would be better.
Yeah, there needs to be more fuzziness to where the enemy is. Because the way it looked like, even in the trailer, the gameplay trailer, it looked way more vague than what it is now. It looked like,
100%.
Oh, they're sort of here. Like, this kind of, like, cone. They're in this cone.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, they're here. Like, they're right behind this wall. I definitely think the Q, like, the passive just needs some sort of rework. Thankfully, his tactical is getting nerfed. I mean, we are get the flashbang removed. Like, they are removing, which is huge. Great. Thank you. I think the tactical does too much. It just flat out does too much. I don't care about the damage. Damage is whatever. Like, people bitch about the camp damage. Oh, I got killed by it. Whatever, dude. Like, you just...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complain about that, too, and I'm like... So the fact that it does damage doesn't bother me. The fact that it has so many elements, I think, is the actual problem. Right? Yeah. Like, the fact it does 10 damage isn't a problem, but the fact that it does 10 damage and cancels basically anything you're doing, like, scans you, the whole bit, is just... It's way too many elements for a tactical.
I mean, it's basically like... It's a better Bloodhound scan, because it's 8 seconds long.
Right.
It does damage. It's a better... It's almost like a more effective rev queue in a way, in the sense that it cancels a lot of things, right? Like, it immediately negates things. Kind of like rev does. It has this FOV pulse. It has it's just all these things combined together to make it really annoying. I mean, get rid of FOV pulse. Get rid of the flash. The rest of it's okay. Reduce the scan time, I would say. 8 seconds is really
It's a really long time.
It's a really long time.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
Also, with his Q as well, like, I think the more people start playing him, the more they're going to, like, learn how to efficiently use it. Because right now, people are, like, just blind. Like, a lot of people are just, blindly hitting Q and just like, scan. But I'm starting to notice people picking up on things like there was a guy that pushed me last night that the Seer, like, they were in a building, like, in front of me in Cap, and the Seer queued, and as he queued and I was flashbanged, Pathfinder grappled on me. So like he landed on me while I was blind, and I couldn't like see. Like they're learning how to like coordinate it better.
Yeah.
So like
yeah,
the
yeah.
more people learn how to like use it efficiently like that, I mean obviously the flashbang won't be a problem anymore since that's going away. But
Yeah.
everything else included, it's ugh.
Yeah, that flashbang has definitely killed me a few times but thankfully it's going away anyways.
Yeah.
But then like you think about it, right? His passive scans, his tactical scans, and his ult scans. I mean, his ult has counterplay. You can just walk around. The Q has counterplay. Just avoid it, right? But the passive is really like
The big yeah.
does every part of his kit need to be a scan? Right? Like
Right.
even Hound, like Bloodhound, doesn't have as OP of a scanning like their tactical scans, and their ult is like a free scan, like a free kind of tracker.
He's getting and then like, but his scans are still like it's still just scans.
Still just scans, and it's only like 4 seconds long now.
Yeah.
I feel like Seer, like I get it, like I understand like the lore design behind it, where they're all knowing and they can see everything, but man, does it break the game a little bit and make it a little unfun to play.
Well, I've said this several times over the last couple of days that it's getting hard at this point. Like not only like with the guns, which we'll talk about later, or whatever, but like you almost can't tell if the person that you're going against is cheating. Like
Yeah,
there's so many, like even just wrapped up in that one character, there's so many wall hacks. But then you add in Bloodhound on top of that, like
yeah,
something like you try to rat somewhere, or like you try to like hide to pop a bat or something, and they know exactly where you're at like immediately, and like you don't, so you can even tell. Like it could easily be somebody cheating, or they're just a 14-year-old kid playing Seer. Like
yeah. I mean, it definitely is this thing of like it feels like the devs think the game's too boring. Did you think? The way they're designing characters, they're like, you know what's wrong with our game with a long TTK and movement characters? It's too slow.
yeah,
People are ratting. We can't let them rat. People are they
yeah.
introduce. Like I feel like they're going the opposite now, right? Because they dropped, Rampart. It's a very stationary character. They have Fuse, which isn't really an aggro pushing character. And then they dropped Horizon. Right? Oh, you don't want to climb stairs? Oh, you don't want to take a zip? Q. Fuck it.
Hit it.
You don't want to climb? Q. Meh. You're
Right.
good. Then they drop Valk. Oh, you don't want to take a balloon? Oh, you don't want to walk through that choke? Fly. Pop an ult. You're out of there. And then they drop Seer, right? And it's like, oh, you thought you was gonna rat? Nah.
Nah, fam.
Nah. You're not ratting. You're not hiding. You're not gonna play ranked diamond. You're not gonna rat through diamond. You're not gonna play in comp. Be the last one alive in your team and get an extra. Like it just feels like they're pushing this game into a very, and I hate to say it, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but in a very casual space, away from competition. They're pushing in a direction that reduces the skill gap by a lot.
I think a big problem too that they have, at least like from like the way I view it, is it seems like because it makes sense to make the game like to tailor to a casual player, right? That's their like core like player base. But I feel they go too far where instead of kind of finding that middle ground, they go all in on like use this legend to see through the walls, and then this gun's going to kill them real fast. You don't even have to really aim; just hit your trigger button. Like they can't. It seems like they struggle with finding like a good middle ground, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and you have to
brought
wonder
to a
who's
people we can
pushing
redeploy
the
a whole team
design
across the map
decision.
fast.
Obviously, the dev team. I'll never talk shit about a dev team. I'll never talk shit about the devs because they love the game. They want the game to do well. They want the game to be fun to play. But then at the same time, it's like, who's making these design choices that are like, our game's too hard, I think.
Well, and a thing that confuses me about it too is, and because we've talked about it recently, is like the nerfing of Legends before compared to like the stuff that they do with Legends now.
Yeah.
Like Wraith being nerfed like crazy, Pathfinder getting nerfed like you got to wait 3 to 5 business days to use your grapple, and your a giant fridge with low profile. Like things like that to them are like, whoa, these are too powerful. We got to fix this. And then they're like, let's just have Revtane be a thing. Let's have a wall hack legend. Like I just don't understand that at all.
Yeah, you look at the balance choices from like season 5, season 6, season 7, right? And you're like, well, why would you nerf Wraith? Why would you increase Wraith's hitbox? It's not that hard to hit. Like, why would you nerf Watson? Why would you nerf this guy? Why would you nerf that guy? And then they're like, we're gonna nerf. Yeah, I mean, somebody in your chat says, the Wraith portal's too broken, but we're going to, give you free teleportation and stuff.
Yeah, Wraith portal too OP, but we can redeploy a whole team across the map, which is.
Wraith Q is too strong, but you get a free second life. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, it's like I get a need for a game to cater to casual players, and its need to draw in casual players for like revenue purposes and for like money. Like they need the money, but it's also like, at what point do you make this game unfun?
Yeah, at what point are we going too far? Which it seems like they inch closer and closer to that every time.
Because I think that they miss out on the idea that this game, Apex, the community of Apex, how do you grow a game and how do you sustain a game? It's through community, and it's through content creation. If you look at content creators, they're like a very small percent of the population. The esports is like, how many people are in the esports scene? Like 0.01% of all player base. But then who's doing the most work and pulling people in?
Yeah, it's like free advertisement for your game.
It's free advertisement, right? Yeah. Like
100%.
I 100% would not have like been as into Apex as I am now if I hadn't seen a streamer play it and thought, well, this game looks like a fucking blast.
Right.
This game sounds awesome. This game's amazing. It's free advertising because basically people are playing for hours on end, generating content, giving people an idea of what the game is like before they play it, and they're like, you know what? Bet I want to play. Oh shit! You need to spend how much for an heirloom? Bet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To making the game like boring in content creation where it's become stale. I mean, you're just gonna lose out on all this beautiful content that a skill gap allows you to have. It sounds kind of shitty to say, but there has to be a skill gap.
Yeah.
It's like any sport.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing, I guess, too, is that so like they're in the changes that they're making and the abilities that they're giving and everything. So they're already, I feel like you said, like it's like making the game stale because that's just like what you deal with all the time. But then, I guess along with that, like they honestly, like I don't feel like we get much like content out of them anymore. Like it was already few and far between before, with like LTMs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like now it's like we used to complain about having recycled LTMs. That used to be like the problem. It was like, oh, we already had this one. But now it's like I don't know. I feel like they could easily just push out more like events. It's type not like what I mean, like LTMs. Not takeovers, LTMs specifically. I want to call that out because I hate the takeovers, so much.
Are pointless. They don't do anything.
Like I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Well, not the town takeovers. I'm talking about like the events, like the game modes.
Oh.
Like they'll pick a game mode that's just slightly different than the regular game mode, and then that's the only thing that's in the playlist for 2 weeks or whatever. Like, I miss back in the day when I could go in and I could play regular trios, or I could play whatever the LTM was for the next week or two or whatever it was. So they started recycling, which sucked already because they're like, we already played these. Like they would just change something. Like when Evo Shields came out, that was like the thing. It was like, hey, here's an event. You already played it, but this one's got Evo Shields. Like they would just change it up just a little bit. But now, like I don't remember the last event that I was like. I guess so. The last event was the OG maps that I was like pumped for, and that wasn't an event like an LTM or anything. It was just replaying the old maps. Besides that, I don't remember the last like event where I was like, oh, this is some content right here. This is fun. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, let's think. I mean, it's
releases of recycled skins is the biggest.
I mean, New Year's, right? Like New Year's, where they just they didn't do anything. You know, it ends up being this thing of, oh yeah, here's these LTMs that we've had before. I mean, I guess like the Maggie's Town, whatever season Fuse came out, right? That was the last like event, quote unquote, and everybody hated it. Everybody was tired of it.
Was that the one where they were supposed to have like 5 different events and
it all
two
broke.
of them worked?
It all broke.
But like that's like they're already putting it in such a bad place doing that, and then they also on top of that are like, we're gonna give you a bunch of legends that just make the game really not fun to play.
I think they're just scared of it. Like they're scared of releasing an LTM that doesn't work. They're scared. Like seeing how like that turned out, I think they're just like, fuck, dude. We're like, what if we do this and it doesn't work? I just feel like you're saying, with the current meta, the current legends, the current meta, the current everything, it becomes. And I don't mean this to deride anybody who does this. I don't mean this to say, because I do the same thing. But highlights, who cares? Almost, in a way. Like, any crazy gun clip I get, nobody's gonna really pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, oh no, I gotta, dude, look at me, like, kill these kids with the wingman. And then, like, somebody, like, 1v6 with the fucking rampage in this thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like,
they're making it hard to do stuff like that. Because, like, these days, because, like, back in the day, I would go all the time, and we would just pick stupid legends, pick off-meta guns, like, just really silly loadouts. Mm-hmm. Like, that was, like, fun to do. And it's like, now, it's like, if you're not playing the meta, like, even in pubs, like, you can't stay alive long enough to try to do anything like that. Like, I can't get a clip doing something funny with a stupid, I'm running a Rampart double Mozambique, because I'm, like, dead immediately.
Yeah. If I don't have an R9 or a R3, like, if I don't have some sort of amazing AR, and I mean, and this is a great segue into the gun meta, like, if I'm not running an R9, a Prowler, right, an L-Star, a Rampage, like, if I'm not running some sort of, like, high TTK gun, bro, you better be.
It's over.
I mean, I run the Ringman still, and you still win. Like I would say, like, I complain about it as it's a huge problem. It's not, right? 8 out of 10 times, I'm still gonna win, because if I'm better, I'm better.
Well, I think my problem though is with the gun meta right now is not. It's not the fair fight losing. Like, if I lose in a fair fight with one of, like, the L-Star or the Prowler, like, I could have won. Like, that was my fault, most likely. I just lost the fight. My problem with those guns, where it comes into, like, where it makes me angry, is you end up with these, like, third party, fourth party, fifth party situations where I get into a fight, I might smoke the first, like, the first fight that we take, I might completely just run through that guy. But then there's somebody else that's pulled up, no sound. They know exactly where I'm at, because they can see with Seer's passive where I'm at, and then I get 3 bursted with a Prowler.
Yep.
Like, it just kills you so fast, like, you can't react, and they track you down with Seer, and just, you're dead.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, it becomes this thing of, like,
it's no longer who's got better gun skills, who's better gun that keeps damage pretty much.
You can reset. You have the L-Star, which, don't get me wrong, I love the L-Stars are fun. I used to love the L-Star for how stupid it was. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see shit, but I'm killing somebody. I can't see nothing, but I'm killing somebody. You know? Oh shit, I overheated. Oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like that was why I picked the L-Star. Because it was a fun but still viable gun.
Yeah, that was the thing. I see that.
Now it's just cracked out. I mean, they added a barrel stabilizer to it, so now you don't even need a recoil control. They give you an extended mag, so you can shoot longer. They reduced the particle, like it's
they made it easier to see. Yeah,
I mean, it's basically like a cracked out Havoc with no fucking wind up. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a cracked out.
And if you feather your shots, it'll just go on forever.
Yeah, Yeah, it's an infinite havoc, bro.
But
Right?
what I was gonna say is with the L-Star, like I noticed they do that a lot with guns that are underrated. So guns that were already good, even I would say just like great guns that people didn't know, i.e. the Eva 8, the Hemlock.
Yeah.
Both of those guns, like the Hemlock, was already nasty before they buffed it, but nobody used it except for Noko. Like it was like the only person that used it, and he was like the Noko, or he was like the Hemlock guy. But it was already a very good gun, but no one picked it up. And then they did it with the Eva. They're like the Eva. I used the Eva before they buffed it all the time. Like it was back when they had double tap. I used to use it all the time.
Yep.
And then they buffed it. And then now with the L-Star, like the L-Star was already really good.
Yep.
But no one wanted to use it. It was a meme gun. And then now it's like people are asking to get ping L-Stars.
You get an L-Star off rip. I mean, if you like are landing on a team, you pick up an L-Star, you turn into white shields. You're gonna out damage that R9. Yeah. Right? Like it was a good gun. But people are like, I can't see.
Brent, what season was the PK broke? Was that like season 4?
They're in the middle. They're in the crosshair. Feather that shit.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're good. Like
it reminds me of back when the PK was super broken. I don't remember when it was, like season 3 or 4 or something like that. You could like pump somebody in the chest for like 118.
No shot.
Yeah, it was very broken.
That's a 3. That's a 9 now. That's a 9.
That's back before you landed with a white shield. So like you could literally land on a PK and you could just wipe out anybody. Like we used to land at a construction building and you could just pick up a PK and just yeah. And that's kind of the L-Star is, dude. As long as you have ammo, like you could just run through and just because they can't. At least I haven't noticed. It seems like the particles were reduced when you're the one shooting it, but I don't think it's reduced when you're getting shot with it. Like there's still just as much. I may be wrong. There may be a change here, but I haven't noticed any change at all.
To me, it's like I don't know. It's like why the gun meta is so weird right now. I pick up the Rampage. It's a weird gun. It's not. I mean, it's deadly. It does a lot of damage. But I feel like do you get a feeling when you use the Rampage, it's not that good. But when somebody else is using it, you're like dead in 4 bullets, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't. I've only picked it up like twice, I think. Like when I was playing with Citric earlier, I used it. So I had like 3 times on it, and I keep hearing people say it's good at range. But I feel like it's only good at range if you're like single firing it. Like I use it like a repeater or like a wingman or something. Like I tried to full auto and track somebody, and I'm like looking at the bullets like right on them, and I wasn't getting anything. But then I started just tap firing it, and it was awesome. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I feel like if you're getting shot at a distance, it's easily avoidable. Like just move, you know.
Yeah.
And then up close, obviously you don't have it charged up or revved up or whatever they call it. It's not going to be good. It's too slow. But that being said, I don't feel like in most situations in the games that I play, at least 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to be revving it up. Like usually when I'm getting into a fight, I'm not going to take the time to like hide out. And I'd rather just pick up a gun that I can just fight as soon as I see somebody.
Yeah. Like I feel like they made they designed the gun with the base fire in mind. Right, like if you look at the damage of the gun, if you look at the headshot multiplier, if you look at it makes sense. It should be as strong as it is because of how slow it shoots. Right, I get it. But then you put a thermite in that bitch, bro. What? They took the Spitfire and made it better.
Yeah.
Right?
I think too, like, because I see people argue, like, on Twitter and TikTok and stuff about whether it should be as strong as it is, and that's the argument that they make is what you just said. It should be as strong, like, it should be as powerful as what it is because of the type of gun it is. So my thoughts on that is, while that's true, if the gun's going to be a thing, yes, it should be powerful because of how slow it shoots. I just don't feel like that gun is a fit for this game.
I can receive that.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, Yeah, it should be powerful if it exists, but why does it exist?
Why does it exist? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like how people were complaining about the Eva. Eva isn't that strong of a shotty. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Right? Like, people are just bitching about the Eva because all of a sudden everybody was running the Eva. People were complaining about the Mastiff when everybody's running the Mastiff. But it's a shotgun. If you're in shotgun range, a shotty should destroy you.
So that's the thing. That's my beef
Right.
with the Eva, is they needed to either slow it way down or reduce it. Because I get it's a shotgun, so it should do a lot of damage, but I don't think it should shoot that fast and do that much damage. That's my beef with it. Like, I feel like if you're gonna have it shoot fast, it should do less damage. Or if you're gonna stay true to like the shotgun, description and have it do a lot of damage, I don't think you should be able to pump out shots that fast. Like, I feel like it shoots way too fast to be a shotgun doing, shotgun damage.
Sure. I mean, I can agree with that. I think the Eva's a great shotty. I think it's strong. It definitely shouldn't be as strong as it is in terms of like fire rate plus damage. But I feel like with the movement tech in this game, they're designing it with, again, it's that like, well, we don't want people who like don't have amazing aim to whiff every shot, right? So by giving an increased fire rate, you can kind of keep up with people like Bang, who have a speed passive, Octane, who can stim. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like their thought behind it. I still think it's jacked. Like, the Eva is still jacked. The Prowler, jacked. I mean, it came onto the ground basically like the same as it is in the care package, except a little slower.
And I hate that they even tried to play us with that. Like, oh, we slowed it down 0.02 seconds or whatever it was. Like, it's not nearly enough to be like a noticeable change.
Yeah. It's still such a fast like kill. Like, I mean, I'll say this with the Prowler. If the person you're fighting has any decent movement, they'll be alright. Like, if they can strafe, if they can figure out how to dodge bullets, they're vibing. You're not gonna like 45 burst them, 30, whatever. It's just like one of those things where you look at the gun meta in Apex and you're like, why do we even have shields at this point? Just let me die, bro. Like,
well, and I think that's the thing too that I find like interesting to think back on is there was that week or whatever at the beginning of that one season where they decided to reduce how much protection you had from with a shield, like how much health the shield had, and it sucked because you just died so quick.
Yeah.
But they gave us that back, but then they start introducing these weapons that just make you die that fast anyway. Like, they put these guns so you die to the same at the same speed as what they did back when they reduced the shield
armor.
Yeah. So it's like it doesn't make a difference. You're still dying just as fast, but because you have the full 200 on a perp shield or whatever, it doesn't feel like it's as bad as what it was. But
yeah, it's just like, it just feels like these guns. I mean, they released a 30-30, not bad. It's okay. It takes a little bit of skill. The bow, again, takes a bit of skill, right? And then the Rampage. Right? You're like, why? Why the fuck? And then they put the alternator, and they're like, hey, you know what you were missing? Disruptor rounds. I'm like, y'all don't want they don't want, again, goes back to like, I don't think the devs want an end game. Like, I don't think EA or whoever is in charge of the game wants end game to no, listen, I'm not naming no names, right? But I don't think the people who are designing this game want this game to go past like round 3. Like, they don't want they don't want LGS to get to like round 5, round 6.
Yeah, because pubs like you'll be into round 1, mid round 2. Like, there's like 2 squads left. You haven't seen anybody.
Yeah.
Like, you'll loot your landing spot. Like, not even like slowly. Like, you just land, get a gun, roll out, and then you look up and there's 4 teams left.
Yeah. By the time like I'll land somewhere that's like semi-quiet, right? Like staging. Let's say staging, right? Mm-hmm. Not super hot. Sometimes it's hot. Sometimes it's weirdly hot. I don't know why.
yeah.
But sometimes it's like weird. I'm like, all right, guys, Who the fuck decided to land staging today? But like, you decide like to land staging. I finished looting staging. By the time I'm like done, half the squad's remaining. Bro, who the fuck? And we're like, Ring 1 countdown hasn't even begun yet. Like by the time Ring 1 countdown starts, you're looking at 6 squads. Right?
I think a lot of that
so fast.
I think a lot of that too has just been how the player base has developed their play style too.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Heavy Rain talk about this a lot. Like people will suicide themselves, knowing that they're going to die just to make sure that they get the knock on you. Like when they start, like they will go out of their like they'll know that they're going to die. They'll be standing in a thermite, like
people
knowing that they're going to die just to make sure that they get that one kill.
People in so fucking hard in this game, bro. I don't get it. As a like, I try so hard, cause I used to be a fucking noob, right? I used to be a bot. I try so hard not to judge people for how they play the game, cause it's a game. End of the day, you play the game how you want to play the game.
Right.
I don't care. But as a person who wants to be good at this game, and takes this game semi-seriously, I would say super seriously, because it's still a game.
Right.
And I'm also not... There's no money on the line for me. Like, if this is LGS, very different.
Right.
Very different. But, as a person like who plays this game semi-seriously, I think this is the thing that happens in all sports, where you expect your enemies, your opponents, to play a certain way with a certain level of logic. And then when they beat you, you can get better. But when I get inted on, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Sorry, I'm pausing a lot.
I run into that a lot because I expect, like, I don't know a way to say this that doesn't come off sounding like an asshole, but like I expect a certain level of common sense when I'm fighting somebody.
Yes.
Like, not even if you were smart, you would have, like, not even to that level. Just, like, if I hit somebody for 197, I don't expect them to grapple on me. Like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm expecting you to heal. Yep. So, with that in mind, I'm like, oh, I have time to reload instead of switching my weapon, or I have time to... You're 3 HP, I can hit a cell because you're not going to get any kind of heal off. Like, I'm going to be healthier than you. So I expect that to happen, and then I get grappled on. Like, and you can, like, I can't predict that. Which, I mean, it's not a problem. It's going to happen. It's just, I die to things like that so often.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, though, right? Like, I expect my opponents to play with certain common sense, right? Like, I don't want to say it's annoying, but it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, how it's like, it's those moments of why the fuck would you do that? I mean, I guess it's smart because you won, but like,
that's what I always say when that happens to me. I'm like, that was dumb. Why did you do that? It worked, but why did you do it? Like, I can't even be mad because like you killed me. Like, GG's, you got me. But, like, what made you do that?
How do I get better?
I think that just kind of ties into what I was saying, though. It's, like, the way a lot of the player base is, developing the different play style than what they used to. It's, like, everybody kind of knows what we're dealing with now, so they try to, like, adapt accordingly.
Yeah.
And they do all kinds of craziness.
Full sending, dude. Full sending... Full ape, 100% in. I have seen so many. I mean, but it also goes the flip side away, right? It's like I won because you did something stupid. It's like I'll hit somebody for like 180, full perp. I'll hit them for 180, and they'll swing on me. Like, they won't heal. They won't pop a bat. They won't pop a cell. They're just like, they're gonna peek me. Like today, I was playing. I crack a Horizon. I'm like, okay, she's gonna heal, right? She has a bow. She's got to heal. I look over. She's staring with the bow. I shoot her. She's still flesh. I'm like, what? Bro, pump a cell. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
then we wiped the squad. It's like, why did you not heal? Like, I don't. What?
Yeah.
Why are you like throwing right now? But that's how people play, and that's why people die so fast.
But that being said, too, like a lot of people play like that, so then that's what they tailor the game around. So they're like, oh, you're going to die really quickly. We're going to put a gun in your hand to where even if you still die, you're going to do more damage and you're going to feel good about it after you get done. You're going to want to play another game because you did a lot of damage really quickly. Like,
you can do stupid shit and get away with it. That's what it is. You can do stupid shit, you can make stupid plays and get away with it.
Which is exactly what was so annoying about Rev. Like, it gave people the confidence to do, like, brain dead pushes because they had there was no downside to it.
Yep. I want to get better at this game. I really do. Right? I want to get better at this game. How the hell am I supposed to get better if y'all motherfuckers keep doing stupid shit?
It's funny you say that because I was just saying that last night. I was like, I know I'm getting like mechanically better at this game. Like I know I am, but I can't tell while I'm playing.
Right.
Like my aim is getting better, my movement's getting better. I'm making like smarter decisions on the fly, like things like that. Like I know I'm being better at this game than what I was seasons past. But it's like I can't tell because it's like, oh, you peaked, not even peaked along. Like you jiggle peaked a corner, you're dead now. Yep. You got team fired by an L-Star, a Prowler, and a Rampage. As soon as you peaked, you're dead.
Yep. It's like I can't. I have that all the time, bro. I'm just like.
It's really discouraging, honestly.
Good at this game?
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like sometimes I get off and I'm like I suck, bro. Like I'm trash. Like I'm not great by any means, but like sometimes I'm like, bro, I'm very bad at this game. Like I got 2 kills tonight out of all like 3 hours of playing. Like,
and the worst part of it,
so fast.
The worst part of we put so many hours into this game. We shouldn't feel that way.
Exactly.
We should not feel like we're bad at this game. We're not bad at any means. I don't like the term filthy casual because it's very derisive. But when a game tailors almost exclusively to the casual gamer, it becomes very unfun for content creators and people who play this game a lot. End of the day, it's just a game. I get it. But I like this game. And I want this game to be fun. And like we said, we're not pros, right? Dwight? Like we're not pros. We're not bitching about ALGS. We're not bitching like, oh my god, competitive integrity. Bro, the game's just not fun to play for 8 hours a day anymore. Or 12 hours a day. I have moments where it's fun. I have days where it's fun. You know, some of my friends have had great seasons so far. They're like enjoying every hour of the season, right? The game is still fun. But I don't feel like it's possible for me to like get better at it, and it's draining after a couple hours. Sometimes, some days, not every day, but some days.
Well, and like used to, like there'd be times where it was like you didn't want to get off.
Yeah.
You could just play for hours and hours, just be having a blast, and now it's like I get like 2 hours in, man. I'm like, do I want to keep doing this right now?
Yeah.
Like
some days,
like 2 hours feels like 6.
Yeah, there's some days where it's like that, you know, and it's not because you're bad. It's just because the meta is the way people play. And you're just like,
yeah,
bro, I can't handle y'all right now. Like I can't handle this right now. Y'all killing me.
Yeah.
You know, like, and here's a good, I think, marker of how you can tell if a game is fun or not. How much are you enjoying it when you play by yourself?
Yeah, this game is definitely not for the feeble-hearted when it comes to playing solo at all.
The people, you know who I know is having fun solo queuing? You know what people are having fun solo queuing? People who are cracked at this game. People who are mechanically
like, actually
skilled.
Insane, yeah.
You know, like my buddy Rue, insane at this game, you know. Paige, who doesn't give herself much enough credit, insane at this game. The people who are just mechanically gifted at this game and been playing this game for 2 years or other games, like people who just been playing a shit on FPS, yeah, they're having fun because they're just killing everybody because y'all are bots and y'all are doing stupid shit.
And that kind of goes back to talking about making the game like stale. Like I can't imagine being that good at the game and having fun like for very long. Like, yeah, like I feel like when you get on and you run through people and you're just like rolling through lobbies, like that's probably fun for a little bit. but with no like content to like keep you like entertained and doing that, I can't imagine that can like keep you satisfied for like an extended period of time.
And that's the thing, right? Like I think we talk about this. Season opens, everybody loves it. New season, it feels fresh, feels good, vibes are good. Play ranked, new ranked season. We grinding, we rolling, we going up, we're going. Then you hit the peak halfway through the split, and you're like, all right, and that's it. We're done.
Dry spell. Yep.
We're done.
Every time.
I'm bored. But I still love the
Every time.
And then, but we're like, we love the game though. It's such a good game.
Yeah. And I think,
but I'm
and
tired of it.
That's the unfortunate part about it is that everybody's like, we love the game. Like it's hands down best VR game. Like no contest.
No contest.
But that's the thing is that people are so passionate and they want it to survive and they want it to thrive. That I think that's where a lot of like the toxicity online comes from with the opinions. It's because people are so passionate about it, they end up like crossing the line and saying all kinds of crazy, disrespectful things on the internet, like they do on the internet. But I can tell with most people, at least, it's from a good place. Like everybody wants the game to be great. It's just they keep making these weird decisions that, at least in the communities that I'm a part of, like the changes that they make don't seem to match what everybody wants.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most unfortunate part about it. Because they just keep doing it. And they have such a loyal fan base, or like player base, where they just make these changes that, like, it's complete opposite. Like, people are begging for a Bloodhound nerf, and they literally released like, a wall hack character. Like, it's so out of touch with their, like, what I would say is the, like, majority or how can I word this? Not necessarily the majority of their player base, but the majority of their player base who's actually going to care about the decisions. Like, I feel like they're making changes and additions and whatnot to target the people that literally play the game like an hour a week. Like, you could do anything, and they're going to play either way. They're not going to care. Like, they don't play it enough for them to really care what changes.
To really feel it. Yeah, and I mean that's what this podcast is about. You know, just kind of bring it full circle. Because we're heading and let's start winding it down. That's the goal of this podcast here, which is, I think you're right. I think there is this disconnect between, there's basically 3 levels of Apex players, in my opinion, 3-ish. You have the pros, which is basically, you know, people who are energy, rogue, the rank grinders, the top 100 preds, you know, whatever, those guys, like the huge content creators,
right?
Draynilla, Drum, like those guys, right? Like you got those guys who are like basically pros at this game. Then you have us. You know, we're content creators of this game. We play this game 6-7 hours a day. We love this game. We play this game enough to know what's going on, but we're not looking at it necessarily in a purely competitive way, just in mostly like in a, is this fun to play way? Is this enjoyable for the people? Any of the casual players, right? The weekend gamers, the people who play 2-3 hours a day tops, you know,
get off work and play for an hour before their kids get home from school. Like,
like, you know, the kids have finished the homework. Let's play an hour before I go to bed. You know, and they knock out after like the 3rd game, right? Because they're tired as fuck. They fall asleep with the keyboard. And they're like you know, they're in the lobby and they fall asleep. You know, like those guys. The pros have very, I feel sometimes very esoteric takes about the game. Smart takes, very intelligent takes. Look at very intelligent takes, but a very specific and niche take.
Yeah.
The counters don't give a shit about what the pros say because they're like, you guys just are crybabies because you
get paid to play the game. You don't get to have an opinion.
Yeah. I want us to be the bridge of saying, like, we're not pros. I'm not getting paid that much to play this game, to be honest. Let's be real.
That is facts.
Maybe one day. But right now, I'm not getting paid a lot to play this game. I still feel like this, and I still feel like this game could be better. And I want to see that bridge.
I feel like a lot of people, like, kind of like our, like, category, like, more times than not, I think our views on it relate to what the pros and giant content creators are wanting also.
Right.
Like, we're, like, almost always going to be in line with what they want.
Sure.
And I think there's this, to go back to what you're saying, there is, like, this weird separation for whatever reason. Like, it doesn't matter what any kind of like pro or content creator says that they want changed. Immediately, like the like super casual community is on them like heavy. Like they are against whatever any kind of like pro or huge content creator says just because of who they are.
Exactly. Yeah, and I want us to be that bridge of like,
Yeah.
this is not just the pros. This is not just like the high end content creators. This is not the 1%. Like we are like normal gamers, just like y'all. We just play this game a lot more, but we're normal gamers like y'all, and this is what we think about the game, right? Sometimes like some days maybe we'll call it the pros for their bad takes, tech. But
I think a lot of that also comes from people. That's gonna sound like an asshole, but just not having reading comprehension. Like people will make a tweet and they're like, "I want the Kraber removed from competitive. I repeat, only competitive. I don't care what you guys do in pubs." And then there's like 90 people in the replies are like, "Don't take the Kraber away from me." Like it's like you're mad at them for decisions that don't affect you whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like if they make a change in comp, it literally has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely want to get into comp Apex. I have some friends who are in the comp scene. I think we'll pull some friends in one of these days to talk about comp Apex and give like casual players an understanding of how different competition Apex is.
Yeah,
you can watch ALGS and still not get it. You know what I mean? You can watch ALGS, you can watch GL. Well, I guess nobody really watches GLL, but you can see people stream GLL. I think that people just don't understand how different the mentality is, and I want to get some people in here to talk about just how different the mentality is in comp versus even ranked. Like, even ranked Apex is so different. Like ranked Apex right now is closer to pubs than it is to comp, and that's the bad part. It should be the other way around. It should be closer to comp than it is to rank to pubs.
Yeah,
definitely lots of cool stuff coming your way.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Talking about comp stuff, I think it would be sick. Because I think you're right. A lot of people don't realize, like, it's literally like almost like playing a totally different game. Like, it's the same like fundamental game, but like the way comp Apex is played is so drastically different than how just a pub match is played. Which I always think is funny. The people that'll be in like people's chats like during like ALGS and they're like backseat gaming.
Yeah,
and they're like. He hit that guy for 40. Push him. Like,
no.
This is not how this works at all, buddy.
and I would even love to get some people like. It's so different that NA comp versus EU comp versus East Asia comp.
Yeah,
it's all different play styles. You know what I mean?
Different metas completely. A lot of the time.
Yeah. They're almost completely different games. Like it's weird.
It's interesting how that works, isn't it?
It's very cultural. It's very cultural. Like you can actually get some sort of really interesting cultural insights. You know, looking at how Japanese players play versus like how NA players play. It's really interesting. But yeah, we definitely want to get into that. So we're about to hit the hour mark. We're gonna go ahead and I think it's time for us to play some games, Dwight.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of Off Target Podcast. Hope to be the first of many, many more. If you guys have any feedback, let us know. And just have a good rest of your day whenever you listen to this, wherever you listen to this. And let's have a good time. Bye-bye.